Hello guys and welcome to Python programming tutorials by Amul's Academy. Today in this tutorial we are discussing about how to print stars in alphabetical E shape. So in the previous tutorials we discussed about the how to print stars in A, B, C, D shape. Code is similar but we need to modify little and we'll get stars in alphabetical E shape. So let's begin with the code. So here requirements are same, that is we are using two for loops to print stars in the row and column, and we are using if-else conditional statement, that is we want to print stars in some rows and columns and we want to print space in some row and column. That's why we are using if-else conditional statement. Here we can see there are 6 rows are there and 5 columns are there. And here we can see stars in some row and column, and here we can see space in some row and column. So that's why we are using if-else conditional statement. And here we are using logical and logical OR operators. And in the logical and, if both the inputs are true, then only output is true. And in the logical OR, if both the inputs are false, then only output is false, otherwise it is true. Alright, so as I said, we need two for loops. So first we'll begin with the for loop, and this for loop is to print rows. So I'll take variable name as row. Range is 7, that is range is from 0 to 7. That's because as we saw in the output there are 7 rows are there, that's why I took 7 here. And inside that I'll take another for loop, and range will be from 0 to 5. This is to print the columns. If you want, you can change these numbers. And inside this for loop we are using if-else conditional statement. First we'll mention the condition to print stars, that is we'll see in which row and column we need star. So for that we'll observe the output, and here we can see the column 0. We want stars in the column 0. So first I'll check in the condition whether column is equal to 0. If it is true, then I want star. So first condition is column is equal to 0. Next I'll mention OR, because as I said in the logical OR, if any one of the input is true, then output will be true. So if column is equal to 0, I want to print the star. If column is not equal to 0, then we'll check for the another condition. If that is true, then I want star. Okay, so we'll check for the another condition. Here we check the column, and column 0 we want star. And next we'll check the row. Okay, in which row we want star. Here we can see in the row 0, row 3 and row 6 we want star. So I need to check whether row is equal to 0 or row equal to 3 or row equal to 6. But at that time column must be greater than 0, because this star and this star is already printed. It is already checked in the first condition, that is column equal to 0. That's why I'll write column must be greater than 0. So here another condition is we are checking whether row is equal to 0 or row is equal to 3 or row is equal to. But at that time, as I said, column must be greater than 0. So I'll mention, and I'll put this condition together. Okay, here this is my first condition, that is I'm checking whether column is equal to 0. If it is true, then I want star in the column 0. So I'll print that. Next I'll check in the row, that is row 0, row 3, row 6. If it is true, then that time column must be greater than 0. That's why I used AND here. Here I want this both conditions should be true. That's why AND. Here I want any one of the condition to be true or both the condition can be true. So that's why I used OR here. And here colon, and inside the body I want to print star. And here end is empty string. Here if you check the syntax of print statement, then there you can see the end string, and by default that value is /n. But here in my output, after printing one star, I want another star immediately after that. I don't want any space or new line between them. That's why I used end is equal to empty string here. Then next we'll print else statement, and here I'll print space. That is, when this condition will become false, it will print space. Here we can see the space, right? That's because of execution of else statement. Next, in the first for loop, I'll write print statement. It's because after each row I want to go to the new line. That is, after printing stars in one row, we want star in next line, right? That's why I used print statement there. Okay, now we are done with our code. So I need to save this and run this. And here we can see the output. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. I'll meet you in next class. Till then, take care.